So, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, and welcome to maybe the penultimate Easy Talk on Channel 42. But I tell you what, we didn't even go live. We were in the green room, and what a debate we've had. What a debate. End of show. No. We're just starting. We just started. But we are back in full effect. And those of you who've been sending me messages asking, are you in your kitchen, Alex? Going live in your kitchen, or are you in your toilet? I'm not in my toilet. It's a green screen. It's a green screen. That's what it is behind you. I'm not in the toilet. But anyway, we are live, and this one's going to get a little bit heated and debated. But this is what we do on Channel 40 TV. This is what we do on the Easy Talk. But before we get into the intros, there's something about an intro music. Oh, I just love that intro. I love that intro. Love that intro. Anyway, talk about intros. Vincey, really good to have you back on Channel 40 TV, brother. How have you been? Welcome back.
It's good to be back with the families. I've been busy doing a lot of stuff with golf and dealing with health, but yeah, it's just nice to just be back in with the family and just talk Arsenal, man. So yeah, man, blessings. Thank you for the opportunity.
Nice one. I feel a bit of a breeze, a wind come through. The enforcement officer. There's.
Excuse me. Sorry, pardon me. Yeah, hello, welcome everybody. Great to be here. Good to be here with the lads. Vincey, been a while. Looking forward to having a chat with you, and obviously the voice of reason and Prosper. This is going to be, as you say, a good debate, Alex. Bring it on.
I did warn you.
Indeed.
You did.
Prosper, hat trick of appearances.
Yeah, it's nice to be back on the channel. There's much to be talked about, and I like it that Vince and the enforcer are here just to spice it up. Here we go.
Strap yourselves in, because the voice of reason is in the house. Isaac.
Here I am. I know I've been together with the enforcer, and I know I've been on the show with Prosper, but I've not been in the show with Vincey.
No.
And I hope today he does the Martinelli and I do the Trossard.
We can be a team. I don't mind you taking my place. It's all good. All family. It's all family.
Oh,
Vincey, check your ribs. Vincey, check your ribs.
Right, so guys, the first topic I want to talk about. The manager, Mikel Arteta. The players look ready. We've got Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, Gabby Martinelli, William Saliba, Kai Havertz, Trossard. So the players, that is the core group of the players. I didn't even mention Thomas Partey at right back, but we won't go there. But Vincey, is the manager ready? Is he ready to take the players, get the players this time over the line? I got some massive questions, man. I don't think so.
I mean, ready is a deep question to associate with Arteta. I think you're right. The players are ready. I think he's ready, but it's whether or not he is willing to manage on a game-by-game basis the situation. Because I think this season it's shown, again, like last season, how close we really were to doing back-to-back. Let's keep it real. You know, last season was great. Most of us didn't expect it. This season, we thought we'll put a challenge. We're going down to the last game of the season. And you stop and you think, you look at the games that actually we kind of messed around when we were actually in good form. And yeah, we probably should have got more points even now where we are. So I think he's ready. I think he's shown last year that he's ready. He's just got to make the right decisions with the right players from game to game. And, you know, we're here reflecting on Manchester City game where we drew. We had the better chances in the game. So we're going into the final game of the season needing Man City to draw. And if we got points out of that game, that's the biggest game. Put Aston Villa away because we can lose to any other team. But you take points off Manchester City and then you take 3 points off them, that's a huge difference and a huge confidence moving towards the end of the season. So I think he's ready. I think the players are ready, but he's got to make better decisions from game to game.
Des, I'll put it to you that he's not ready to get Arsenal over the line. Des.
I've got a couple of points to make. I agree with Vincey to a degree. Okay. So here we go quickly. 20 years since Invincibles. Okay. This season, we have won more matches than the Invincibles. We have scored more goals than the Invincibles. Okay. That to me shows progression. Yeah. Okay. We've had 2 seasons where we've competed for the title because we've taken it to game 38, and that to me is a massive achievement. Yeah. I'm also very proud of this team because they've shown us that the maturity of last season, we crumbled a bit at the end. We all know that, but this season we've come back fighting. And a normal season with Man City, our score would have won the league. We would have been champions. Yeah. But I will say this: if I've got to criticise Arteta, the only thing I'm not liking what Arteta's doing at the moment is bringing up subs. He brings them on too late. Not enough time to change a game. But other than that, yes, Arteta's ready. And the team is most definitely ready. But yes, we still need to, in the summer months, bring more people to make us even stronger, which I think we will do. But yes, to answer your question, Arteta's ready, and I believe the team is ready. And I genuinely think against West Ham, we're not going to go out with a whimper. We're going to go out with a say, come on, Man City, you've got to, we are here and we should be counted,
Okay. Prosper, I think I know what you think.
No, not really.
No? Okay, all right.
Not really. Yeah, because Vinci and the enforcer have raised good points, which I agree with. But when we're talking about crossing the line, there are a lot of parameters that come to play. And one of them is he contending against himself or there's competition around him? As I always say on the group, you can do one step forward, but your competition is doing 2 steps forward. You always be the second guy on the table or the third guy on the table. Why? Because you're not moving faster than the person who's better than you. Because if the enforcer is ahead of me by 3 points, and if I have to catch up with him, I'm supposed to do 5 paces to beat him. That's the reality. So for every step that we take ahead, Manchester is going a step further. Competition is getting a step further. So what I would like to see more on Arteta is to be more aggressive this transfer. I would like to give him 1 year. Much as he's spent 700 already, plus what they've promised to give him, that's already 1 billion. Probably he's the only top flight manager who spent that much money and hasn't brought in the big trophy with the number of years he stayed at Arsenal. You see, so those are very big questions we need to ask. Because previously it was, does Arsenal have the money to compete? Now we have the money. We somehow not spending it like our friends did and won big trophies. So let's give him another season. Let's see, because to me he looks like he's ready, but the problem is there isn't pressure on him. There's nothing tied to his job. You see? So sometimes he makes decisions like right now he's trying to buy a left back, is it? Miguel Correres from Girona in Spain. When we have pressure points for 40 million, but we have pressure positions that really need change. So for me, it's that's those small decisions that are making us lag behind. But he's ready.
Possible, before I go to the voice of reason, when was the last time that Arsenal made a signing and you really thought, wow, we brought this player, he's going to play for Arsenal next season? When was the last time you felt that way, Prosper?
Sami Nasri, it's been a while. Where the player is the hottest thing on the market, Sanchez, maybe Ozil.
Okay.
It's been quite a while.
That's a long time ago.
Arsenal is going in for the killer, you know?
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, we're now just going in for second fit and whatever Arteta puts online, he's going for this player. Believe me, he's just going to buy somebody else. That's where the trick is. So I don't know which centre forward we're getting, honestly.
Okay. Voice of reason. Arteta is not ready. The players are ready. Steady, not go.
Well, I believe he's ready. I was reading somewhere today on Twitter, or X, as we call it today, that when he came in, he gave the owners a 5-phase plan. 5 phases. Phase 1 was, and someone was trying to put it out, that phase 1 was probably the culture, because we didn't have a culture at that time when he was coming in. Do we have that culture today? Yes, we do. Phase 2 was the characters. Do we have characters today? The players that he's brought in, they have character. Whereas years ago, we were so soft that we could be bullied around. He's buying soft bullies. He's buying players that he can control, but on the field, they are bullies. They can bully others, and they have a bit of dark arts in them, like the Benny Blanco one. Then there is a phase that I've missed, but I remember the 4th and the 5th phase. The 4th one was challenging. Is he challenging? Yes, he is. Probably it came in a bit earlier. Last season, we did not expect to challenge, but he did challenge. This season, everyone had us up there to challenge. Are we challenging? Yes, we are. Look at it. It is up to the last minute, up to the last game. When was the last time, or how many times has the league been taken to the last games with Pep in the Premier League? I remember that is probably, I can remember 2. When he won on goal differences, 3. When he won again on goal differences against United, and then when he beat Liverpool by 1 point, and probably this time. Those are 3 times. And the 5th phase, someone was saying, is probably consistency. Yes, you are challenging. Are you consistent in your challenging? This is his 2nd time he's doing that. Is he going to do that a 3rd time and probably win? And I'm hoping he will win, because I believe he is ready. He's built the club. He's built, you can say that actually he's brought all his players. There is no player I can say that this is not my player.
Yeah.
He's everybody that he has there, he's had a hand in it. So he's ready, because he is the one that has built it. So let him compete with it and let him win it. And I'm hoping he's learned. Like the last time we were on with Prosper, we said last season he did great in his first half of the season, but was a bit poor in his second half of the season. This season, he was a bit poor in his first half of the season. But look at the second half of the season. He has only lost one game and drawn one to City. And he's won the rest. And that might probably not be enough for him to win the league. That is if City beat West Ham. And next season, is he going to do better? And I'm hoping he's going to do better by first bringing in the right signings and, as we called it last time, being able to replace some of the players that are there and are not quality. And I remember I sent you a screenshot, Brother Alex. It's already confirmed. 2 are going. That is El Neni and Cedric Suarez.
Yeah.
They are going, their contracts are out. And now that is money left that they are off the wage bill. So you can bring in, that is 2 players, and not just 2 players, but bring in 2 quality players because you have now the funds that you can pay them. And that one helps you with financial fair play.
But brother Isaac, let me just interject for a second here. There were 2 words that I picked up on while you were just speaking there. One is possibility, and the other one is hope. They don't count in this sphere of probability and hope. And that's been the problem with Arsenal, that we've been hoping and thinking it's possibility, it's a probability. It's not going to work in this time, Isaac. We want proper signings where we can feel, oh my, we've got this player. Oh, he's made the substitutions at the right time. Oh, we've sold these players who are not going to take us to the next level. Probability, possibility, and the hope, it's not going to cut it, brother. It will not cut it. And last season was probably the best opportunity for Arsenal to win the Premier League. This season, where are we? After everything that he's done this season, where are we? Where are we? We're not on top of the Premier League. Man City are on top of the Premier League. And they're not thinking about possibility, the probability, the hope. They're going there hard and fast. We will, we can, we've done it. They've done it 3 times. 4th time, Isaac. It doesn't cut it. It doesn't cut it. And Prosper says, look, we are a club quickly thinking, oh no, we make excuses. Oh, it's because last season Man City were, oh, it's because of this. It's because we love making excuses. We love making excuses. Why? We haven't won the Premier for 20 odd seasons. So nobody remembers who comes second, Isaac. Nobody remembers who comes third. And that's the problem. True. We should, the culture, he's changed the culture, but can we honestly say, all right, we're going to win it this season? We can't, we're not at that
Champions League makes it.
And we should not be
Champions League makes it.
Because do you know what my friends are doing on Sunday? I told you I have very bad friends. My United friends and Chelsea friends.
Change your
friends. What they are doing on Sunday? They're having a party to celebrate 20 years Arsenal not winning the league. That's what they're planning on doing. You can't.
You need to get a question. Isaac, you need to get a question made up.
But I want us to win so that they do not celebrate anymore. That is what I want us to win. And we should not be giving excuses. We should. Does he have the team he wanted? Yes. Make proper signings and win and go for it. For me, next season, no excuses. The bare minimum, win as the Premier League or the Champions League. If you win none of those, then you're gone. Because you've had everything. You've been backed more than any other Arsenal manager in the history of this club. You've been backed. You've spent more than any other manager. You don't win the Premier League or the Champions League, and then it's time for you to go.
But before I go to Vinci, Isaac, do you think that a Pep Guardiola would have kept a Mohamed El Neni? Do you think he would have kept a Reece Nelson? Do you think he would have kept a Cedric Suarez? No, he wouldn't. He would have got rid of those players a long time ago.
He let Jesus and Zini go, who were our first choices at that time. If he can let those go.
They've been at Arsenal for a long time. They've been at Arsenal for a long time. So if you're not going to give them time, sell them, get rid of them. Pep Guardiola would not have kept those players for sentimental reasons.
That's
Very
true.
true. Very true.
But I want to believe, perhaps, because Arteta wanted to build trust in his players, that's why he did not offload. That is my assumption. Not offloading quickly, but having your players to trust you. There are times that you want people to trust you, and you give them time.
No,
give
but
them time. Elneny actually was given a renewal amidst his injury. And you remember, Arteta was given a renewal having only won one game in 10. That is trust. That is my perception. It could be not true, but I want to believe. Sometimes when we want to have people to buy into your ideas that you are the right man, you've got to, not really compromise, but he compromised, but he over-compromised.
And I don't see that with Pep Guardiola. The guy is so cold. Because why? He's ambitious. The club is ambitious. All right. And they haven't backed him to the tune of £700 million, even though they have a lot of questions to be asked about their dealings over the last 10 years. But let me go to Vinci, because Vinci, I know you've been bursting to get in.
I just wanted to say that when I look at what Arteta's done this season, let's all put it into context. Look at our defense. Our defense has got us where we are today. We don't have a striker. For the last 2 seasons, we have not had a recognised bona fide striker, and we've been in that situation. And I've always said this: when we purchased Jesus, I wasn't in agreement in that signing because he's not a striker, he's injury prone, and he doesn't score enough goals for me. So if you consider where we are, our defence has got us there. We're here without a recognised striker. It's whether or not Arteta is going to be willing to get the striker that's going to A, score those goals, and A, complement the way how we move the ball, because you can clearly see that Pep has done that when he moved over from what I class as a really world-class striker as Aguero and went and got out a Haaland. So we're talking about players who Pep would have moved on, and Arteta, out of various things which I understand that he's done to improve the culture and everything within Arsenal. But we're at a stage now where, and I said this at the start of the season, I was not interested in any excuses. Any excuses this. So in my mind, we should have won the league this year. So when I look and I think that our defense has got us there, and we've scored goals, a bucket loads of goals against teams, sometimes not at the top, but a bucket load of goals that actually pads the stats overall as to the goals that we've scored and the points. We've still lacked a quality striker in how we've played games that could have helped us not only in the league, but also in the Champions League. And I think that's the biggest hurdle that he's going to have to overcome this off-season, because what we saw in the Bayern game and we saw in the Porto game, we missed that presence in that position. And that's going to be that's what's going to get us over the line and allow us to go back to back or move forward once we get over the hurdle of winning that first trophy.
But Vincent, as Prosper said, is he fighting, this is Mikel Arteta, is he fighting with himself, with his ego, or are there other forces that are fighting against him to do the thing, to be ambitious that he wants, to be ambitious? Is he fighting with himself, or are there other forces?
I think Arteta's, he's part of the environment that he's brought up with. La Massa, he's got that knowledge. He's a technical savant to a degree. But I always go back and say he didn't play international football at the highest level. And for me, that makes a difference in regards to how you go up against players who and coaches who have and who are able to exploit tactically different situations. We've seen it in games where we watch and you're thinking, actually, do you know what? The first game against Villa, they're pressing high against us. How many minutes did it take for us to figure out how to work? It was doing my head in. I couldn't watch the game because clearly you'll see this team are forcing you to play within a certain area, get the message across, get the ball long. When we started to get the ball long, we started to make inroads. But these are the things where we are slow to react in this regard. So he is fighting against himself because he's got the tactical nous to navigate the ball movement and possession and the control and so forth. But when you have somebody who counteracts that in game, we struggle because we keep on doing the same thing. And that's where we are. And how quickly he learns. Maybe he's got to play Championship Manager. Maybe he's got to play FIFA. All those tactics and so things because it's all there. It's all unreal. It's all there. But he's got to do something.
Vincey, he needs to have a phone call, right, with the Godfather. that genuinely would sort out his managerial problems. I'm telling you.
Just straight up.
Sorry, Vincey. Had you finished?
Yeah. Go for it, man. Go for it.
I didn't mean to stop your flow, but I just want to chuck that in.
No, that's all good, bro. It's all good.
Yeah, cool. So, Alex, assumption. We have a saying in the UK. You might know this one. I don't know, but we have a saying in the UK. Assumption makes an arse out of me and you. You should never assume anything, right? Okay. Now, again, I love it when Vincey goes before me because he makes great points. Don't get me wrong, Isaac, the voice of reason, has made great points as well. But Vinny, you're all man. You look at Jesus this season, 4 goals. He should be getting triple that. You know?
But why this? Why? But why this?
Because he. Well, you always put me on the spot. No, it's cool. Because that's what I expect. No, this is an assumption. This is what I expect of him as a fan. He should be getting double figures.
No.
Okay.
Sorry, Des.
I think he should be. No. Hold on. No, let's expand this a second, Alex. I'm not saying you're wrong, right? But he's an upfront player, is he not? Yeah. He should. This season, he's been mainly playing in the number 9, hasn't he? Yeah.
Yep.
Where Kai Havertz. This is going to take me to the point I was going to make. Not to change your mind or anything, Alex. I'm not trying to change your mind, right? But Kai Havertz should not have played in midfield at all this season. He should have been that number 9 all season. He wasn't right in midfield. That's when he had his lack of confidence. He wasn't playing properly, and we were all going, why the blooming hell have we spent 60 million on this fella? Do you know what I mean? Yeah? Because he was playing in the wrong position. Yeah? So, the thing is, Jesus, right, is a different player to Kai, you know, as Martinelli is a different player to Trossard. We all know this, right? It's all fact. I'm not making up any gibberish here. Different styles. Okay, and if you'd have played Jesus, he hadn't have been injured. If you'd have played Jesus in the number 9, I think he would have got double-figure goals. I really do, and I agree with Vinny. Sorry, I keep calling you Vinny. Vincey when he said the defence, but you've also got to look at the midfield as well, because the midfield have been on it this season as well. When you've had the right 3 in there, it's been on it, and that doesn't. To me, that's. And I'm going to be fair, because you know, Alex, I'm not Partey's biggest fan, right? But I will say this. The main 3 this season was usually Rice, Jorginho, and Odegaard, yeah? But since Partey's come back, yes, he's had Partey moments where he can't even make a 10-yard pass, but the midfield's been stronger, and it's been able to let Declan Rice run about a bit more and go a bit further up the pitch. So, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be Des knows all, and if people disagree with what I'm saying, I'm absolutely cool with it. Bring it in the comments. I really don't mind, because that's how we expand conversation. But I genuinely believe if Jesus had played in the number 9 on a regular basis, he would have been in double figures.
But
I really think.
I mean, Vincey spoke about the fact that we have not had an out-and-out striker for the last 2 seasons who can guarantee you, let's just say, 20+ goals.
Yeah, yeah.
When has Gabriel Jesus ever scored 20+ goals when he's playing for Man City? He's never scored more than 20+ goals. So why are we asking a player to do something that he's never done before? That goes back to recruitment. You buy a player who can guarantee you 20+ goals. Gabriel Jesus has never scored 20+ goals.
Who is that then, Alex? Yeah, I'll put you back on the spot. Who is that?
What was the question?
Who would you have in to score 20+ goals?
Well, we went after Vlahovic, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then he said, actually, you know what? I don't want to go to Arsenal. I said, right, okay.
Yeah.
And then Alexander Isak was in discussion. And then after that, Ivan Toney was in discussion. Why could we not get one of those strikers in? Back to recruitment. The culture, okay? But show your ambition and go in there and get a striker that can score 20+ goals. Gabriel Jesus is not that striker. He's not that striker.
So this summer, well, I'll put my cards on this table. I'll put my cards on the table for a second. This summer, I want Benjamin Sesko. I want us to go and get him. And I'll quickly break it down why. Prolific goal scorer, same height as Haaland, and good with the ball at his feet. They're, I mean, I could give you loads of more, but I want other people to join in. So I could give you loads of more things about him. But that's who I would like to go for. But in fairness, Alex, I wouldn't be against getting Isaac, because I think he would fit the system really well.
Yeah, I think for me, the situation where it's not so much 20 goals you're expecting from Jesus. I'm expecting a better goal ratio and a better period of form with the chances that you have. Because at the start of this season, I said Havertz should score at least 10 goals. The reason why, because I envisaged that he's going to be in opportunity in positions to score. If Xhaka scored 7 goals from the position he was playing, you're going to look and you think, if you're going to be in that situation, you're going to have opportunities to score more than 10 goals. Now, most fans on Arsenal 1-on-1, they say, well, that's too much to expect from Havertz because he hasn't produced that. Well, look and see what's happened. Yeah. You can see the ability of the guy. He's got it there in situations where he has better composure, and it's what allows him to get in the phase of the game into those situations. Well, can you score? Well, the crying shame with Jesus is Jesus has got more ability than Havertz. He gets into those situations and he is not scoring those goals. So for me, I've always said tactics and players' ability will allow you a better XG.
But then a counterpoint to that. Sorry, I've got a counterpoint to that. Last season, Vincey, we were sharing the goals out to all players last season. The goals were coming in from all over the place, and we were happy with that. It's basically been the same again this season, with a few exceptions. Would you agree?
To a degree, but we've moved the ball better based on how played. We've been double teamed on both sides, so the players have got to be more skewed to how they've got to move the ball. Last season, they didn't have that, so it's a little bit more easier.
We've definitely learned, but the point I'm trying to make is we were happy with last season the way the goals were going in, yet we're not this season. And yet, if you still think about it, yes, fair point, Alex. We're not top of the table. I respect that, but we've got a chance of being. All right. It all comes down to what if Watson maybes, and if we live by that, it's a load of rubbish. But when it comes to football, we still have a chance.
So can I ask a question? If we do win, based on what we're talking about now, would you feel that we were fortunate to win, or the way we played this season, we've actually deserved to win if we do get across the line?
Prosper, Isaac.
Well, I haven't spoken in a while, but let me just say there's a lot that has been thrown on the table, and to be very honest with you, no other player at Arsenal during Arteta's tenure has had the favor that Kai has had. Arteta has been very ruthless with every other player. You don't perform well today, tomorrow you're on the bench. He's given Kai Havertz everything. He's changed the system to suit Kai Havertz. He hasn't done that for AD. He hasn't done that for Jesus. There's a bit of favoritism there. So to say Kai Havertz is a good player, that I doubt, because he's an attacking midfielder. And if you look at his stats, again, I'll go back to what Vinci said. Before you buy a player, the stats don't lie. As an attacking midfielder, has Kai been that influential as an attacking midfielder? No. Has Jesus been that influential as a number 9? We spoke about this with Isaac last time. When you're going to buy a player, you're going to buy a killer. Arsenal is a big team. You want defenders to shake, not to say maybe he may try, maybe he will turn out to be what I want him to be. No, you're spending 65 million. 65 million must go on a player you're sure of that he will deliver. You see? And that's why Arteta has a problem. So when it comes back to Vince's question, if we happen to win this season, will it be luck or we deserved it? I started saying it from the start of the season, because if I had started saying it right now, that we needed a center forward, we needed a defending midfielder, we needed Odegaard's number 2 deputy and Saka's deputy. What if they got injured in the course of the season? That would be all on us, poor planning of the season. So I would say it would be pure luck, because we're not ready to compete at a high level. If we're going to a third season with no center forward, natural center, not even one. We need 3 right now at our club, but we don't even have 1. 3 seasons. Again, Saka hasn't got a deputy. 3 seasons. And then you second. And this season, sorry to say it, but this season, let's not jump up the roof and say, oh, we've competed with Man City. There was a lot of outside football drama, financial fair play. The big clubs were not up to the game this season. Chelsea, Manchester United, they were broken. But those are big clubs. They're not going to stay down forever. Next season will be a whole different ballgame, and we'll be like, what's happened to Arsenal? Because this season, there was no proper competition. Liverpool was also having its backdoor problem, which we will hear after Klopp goes. There will be issues that will come out. So when a manager announces in the course of the season, I'm leaving, something has to give. Something has to give. So Man City was fighting financial fair play. We didn't know when they were going to deduct points. So even that also affected them. You see, but next season, these teams will come hard, and then we'll be like, okay, we thought we were improving, but how come if we don't prepare well? So for us, for me, it's luck. It's pure luck that we're where we are.
Voice of reason. I need to go to Vinci for a question. Vinci, which striker would you have liked Arsenal to sign?
Vlahovic, I think at the time, before you got Jesus, he was probably the best striker that kind of the team that we had could grow with and move forward. I think now that we've played the way we played now this season, I'm not sure. I mean, you mentioned Isak. I think Isak can come in. I was about to put a comment in the post saying Isak is the Kanu that we haven't replaced, because he's got that ability to play. But he signing an Isak might actually demote Martinelli to the bench because, again, depending on if he's not on form, Arteta wants a possession type of player in that situation. So, yeah, I still believe a motivated Vlahovic would be destructive. It really would be destructive. But again, is whether Arteta wants to move that ball. I mean, we've shown this season against some poor teams, if we prepare to move the ball quickly, we can have a plethora of chances and opportunities for players to score. But do we want to move that ball quickly, or are we going to be laboured all the time so we have defences behind us who it's like when we have it stops and sucks the opportunity for strikers to actually take quality striker shots? Because most of these players that we're talking about, they like to bend the ball in the top corner, left, right, open play. How often do we have the opportunity to have those running shots? So again, it's going down to how we move. Odegaard has the opportunities. Saka sometimes has the opportunity. Rice, maybe. Outside of that, you want those going to your strikers.
Voice of reason, man.
Wow, I've been digesting well. We've all made great points, and I agree. We've moved strides, and if we win, it'll be luck. I remember when we were on with Prosper, we said that we've been very, very fortunate not to be hit with the kind of injuries that Chelsea and Man United have been hit with. There are a few players, if you took out of the Arsenal squad right now, I don't know where we will be.
Yeah.
For instance, take out a Saliba, take out a Odegaard, a Saka, and Rice. And then you'll be competing with Nottingham Forest not to be relegated. Because those are the players that have made us click. And you look at them, precisely the players that we've just mentioned. Do we have their backups? We don't. No Saka backup, no Odegaard backup, no Rice backup, no Saliba backup. And just for today, we were discussing with a friend, and he was telling me, he says, Rice playing more better in a number 8 than a number 6. And I agreed with him. I did agree with him.
Is that your Chelsea friend?
No, that is a different one.
All right, okay. You need to change your friends, man.
Bryce plays more of better in a number 8, and if you have someone who is more defensive behind him, and together with Odegaard, then you have a dynamite midfield. Why did he say this? He's looked at our midfield when Partey, Odegaard, and Rice are in it, because Partey is playing the whole midfielding role. And how have we performed with the 3? We've performed okay and quite better and been more solid. Apart from the United game where I thought our midfield 3 were having an off day.
Yeah.
So if we win it this season is pure luck, and I do not want to be depending on luck where we start wearing the Fulham jersey. Fulham does not do it. And then we start buying the Tottenham jersey. Tottenham does not do it. And now we are all West Ham and Moyes. But Moyes, please do it for us. And I said we are capable of winning our games, and so is Man City. We're winning our games, and Man City is winning their games. So next season, let's have it in our hands. Because right now it's not in our hands. It is not. If we win it, it will be a very, very big miracle.
Enforcer.
Yeah.
If we do win the Premier League, would it be just pure luck or something else?
Part of it's down to luck. Part of it, luck plays a part in everything. But it's the problem with what we put on ourselves. We put pressure on ourselves in this way. Okay, we lost against teams earlier in the season. Okay, that we shouldn't have lost against. So when push comes to shove, it's down to we put ourselves in a position where we're depending on other teams, to decide our season, and we shouldn't have been in that position. That's where it's wrong. As I said before, I can only say how I feel. I'm proud of this team because I feel that they have actually achieved something in the respect of we've had progression. But I mean, you look at the run-in from January, Alex. We've drawn one and lost one. If we could have done that before Christmas as well, we'd be out of sight. But that again, it comes down to what I said before: if, buts, and maybes. If, buts, and maybes. So if we lose it this season, we have to take it on the chin. We basically have to take it on the chin, and we have to come back next season with new players. If that's what needs, we have to. Arsenal has to do whatever they have to do to progress Arsenal. Go on.
But there's you made a point before you went off. You made a point about last season no one's complaining because we had like a group of players scoring the goals, and this season, and I think that's the problem because we have not evolved. We've stayed the same, thinking the same formula will win us and get us over the line this season.
Do you not think we have evolved then, Alex? Because we're beating people 5-0, 6-0. Have we not? Is that not evolving?
Yeah, but like I said, at the end of the day, as a common supporter, I want my club to be winning major honours. I'm with you. And I understand about the culture has changed. He's got rid of a lot of players that was there during the last regime, but we haven't evolved to the point where we can say, you know what, we're dead cert to win the Premier League. Man City, we're going to beat Man City. We're not there. We're not there. Because we're talking about the striker. We don't have that striker to guarantee us 20. Okay, a good ratio of goals. We don't have that striker.
No, I agree. But look at the teams that we've taken points off this season, Alex. That we wouldn't have taken points off from last season.
But then look at the teams we lost against. Aston Villa did another one with us. We drew with Fulham, Everton, Newcastle.
Well, we were robbed at Newcastle. In all fairness, we were robbed at Newcastle, but I sound like I'm making excuses, don't I? So I don't really want to carry on with this point. But at the end of the day,
Vincent,
I was going to say I'm probably the only fan that I didn't lose myself when we were scoring all those goals against those teams. Because I was frustrated because we should have been doing that in games that we were in control earlier in the season. And again, as you said, that's the reason why we're in that situation here where we're hoping and praying that Man City slip up. And when I play football, I don't like to play football like that. I like to go out and like to dominate, control, leave it all on the table, and if I win, you win.
You've done everything you can. You've done everything you can.
Yeah. Guys, let me go to the live chat for the first time and see who's joined us. So Colin has said, "Get it, Alex! Smash that like button, slackers!" And we have one of our moderators, Ashley, says, "Hey up, Gooners, and welcome to Fodder TV and the mental gang." Emerson says, "Good evening, Alex. There's Vincey, Prosper, Isaac. No, the voice of reason." Vince is in the live chat, man. Even Ashley, Colin, and Emerson. What else do we have? Colin says, I have fully bitten a hole through my tongue now on this Nicky topic.
It's a painful topic for him. He's got a lot to say. He's got a lot to say. Real talk, though. Real talk.
It's painful, like when you invited me over when we had lost.
Say again.
The topic is painful. Like when I came over when we lost to Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Actually, it was the hardest time to come on.
Yeah.
And I believe Sunday might also be another hard time, having won, but not won the Premier League and coming on to the show.
But you know what, Isaac? The fear is that, again, the best time we could have won the Premier League was, for me, I feel, was last season. Yeah. There was no pressure. No pressure. We were up top. And then, you know, everyone would say, oh, but it was because William Saliba got injured. That's why we lost the Premier League. And then we're so close this season. Next season, I imagine Liverpool will come strong again. Maybe Chelsea might be resurged again. And where are we going to be? The also-rans. Because Pep Guardiola will still beat Man City. Man City is a machine. They are a machine.
Only for one more machine. Only for one more year.
Season,
he's only going to beat City for one more year.
Last season, our excuse was Saliba. This season is like our excuse is we don't have a proper number 9. What is it going to be next season?
The team doesn't make
excuses.
What they we've got VAR.
Just one more bit of possible bad news as well. Aaron Ramsdale is meant to be moving to Newcastle.
Yeah. But Des, can you blame him, Des?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Actually, let me just tape in. That's one of the topics I wanted also to contribute on. I talked about this with Isaac. Was it on Tuesday? You know, I look at a player, you know, when you've watched soccer for a long time, you look at Emile Smith Rowe, you know there's talent there. No question. Because even when I look at Eddie, the positioning, how he runs for the ball, I see there's talent there. But you cannot keep talent on the bench for the whole season and expect that talent to mature. Saka didn't mature from the bench. Actually, when Emile Smith Rowe and Saka came into the team, the show, Emile Smith Rowe was way better than Saka. But because Saka had the game time, he wasn't injury prone, he's improved on his game. You see? So it all comes back to the question you were raising. Will Nelson go elsewhere and be a star? Yeah, Gnabry went, they became stars. All these players we've let go of, they've become stars. Because we at Arsenal, we are living in this cocoon where we think this is the best home. But if it's the best home for players, why is it that the top stars don't want to sign for Arsenal? Because they know they're coming to rot here. And why did the big stars we had, like the Van Persies and everyone else, run away from Arsenal? So these questions have to be asked. And if we don't improve on these questions, our signings will be mediocre because the top class players will say, no, I'm not going to play for a team that will go 5 years without a trophy. I want to have medals on me. So I'd rather sit on bench at Real Madrid, probably play 2-3 games and win a medal than be at Arsenal for 5 years, play games, score goals, and win nothing. You know? So which brings me back to the point whereby if Madrid comes calling for Saka, are we going to hold on to him? If Madrid comes calling for Saliba, with the way Arteta treated him, when Arteta just came in, when he was, everybody, Unai must go. Is he going to play loyalty to Arsenal? No. They'll go. These are big names. If big teams come calling, they'll go. And then we'll start hating them again like we did with the Van Persies. When the problem is us at the club, what is wrong there?
Sorry, Des, you were saying something, Des.
I was just going to say, you said about players moving on and becoming stars, Prosper. Granit Xhaka has become an invincible.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know.
And not just invincible in the league. Invincible in 3 competitions.
There's hope, everybody.
Like it. Like it.
Let me go back in the live chat. We talk about things that just need to gain a couple of points. First one, Fulham, 10 men, down to 1. Thomas Partey, right back. We've dropped 2 points, Vincey.
I can't. Don't leave me alone.
I forgot about the 10 men. I forgot about the 10 men. I couldn't digest
Colin,
that.
don't pick on Vincey, mate. Don't pick on Vincey.
All right, okay, I'll move on then. Second, Fulham away. Kai Havertz playing midfield. That's a decision. Drop 3 points. These are decisions. The team is there. He needs to stop being stubborn. He's fighting with himself. The Assembled has joined the live chat. If City lose to West Ham, would anyone find it suspicious? Given the fact that City never lose on the last day of the season as a general rule. Voice of reason.
They lost last season.
Yeah.
They lost their final game last season to Brentford 1-0. But Arteta has beaten Moyes 13 times. Moyes has just won once. That is history. Let me stop it there.
Oh, dearie me. Arteta's system is defensive. A striker can't thrive when he has to tackle back all the time. Name the striker who has scored 15 goals under Arteta in a full season. Prosper.
No one. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Arteta talks about bringing in the culture. What? He's just buying himself time. I always say this. We are not in the business of. We are in the business of making stars and selling them to our friends. Yes, we are building the stadium. We are cash strapped then. Now we're in the business of nurturing a manager so that they go elsewhere and become stars, yet we remain trophyless. But we're a big club, you know? So when Arteta just came in, you don't take off a player like Aubameyang and sell him, or just when Arteta came in with his system, Aubameyang went dry. You can't say he was a flop. He was always banging goals. Why did he go dry? Those are questions people don't ask. So to me, I look at it like he has got a problem with the striking management, center forward management. And if he doesn't figure that out by himself, he'll keep on changing center forwards. That's why he's afraid to buy a center forward, a star, because he knows he'll be discovered. So he's afraid people will realize there's something wrong. I mean, everywhere else, this guy is banging goals. He comes to Arsenal, it goes dry. Lacazette went dry. Aubameyang went dry. Who else went dry? Everybody. Eddie is going dry. But under Unai, it goes. You see, even Martinelli has gone dry. You see, over time. So you have to ask some questions, some tough questions, and say, look, as Vincey was saying, the attacking is too slow. You have fast. Arsenal has got one of the fast-paced forwards. You're not going to play to your weakness. Sending the ball fast, they'll chase the ball, they'll score goals. But when you want the 16-yard ball to flood, box to flood, how does a striker find space? How does a midfielder find space to give him the ball and for him to bang a goal? There's literally no space. Then we start scrapping with the goalkeeper for corners just to get in headers because we possess goals, you know. And most of the games that we've scored a lot of goals, if you look at how those goals have come, there have been mistakes made by the opponents because of the press, not because the system started from the back like it would start with Wenger and we go and score. No, it would be a mistake somewhere. We get the ball, a ricochet, we score. And that's what it's been. And everybody gets excited. No, we've banged in 4 goals, 3 goals. But did they come out of the system? No. So it's the small points.
A couple more comments in the live chat. Colin says, I'm trying to be nice, Assembled. Honestly, I do not think Arteta is capable of crossing the line. Crossing what line? What line are you talking about? I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah. What?
I think he's talking about the League Cup.
I don't know.
I think he,
mean timeline or something.
I think he got over the Emirates Cup last year, but maybe it's the League Cup.
Guys, let's get on to
the assembled 15. Sorry, can I just say one quick thing? And it is quick.
Yeah.
The 15 goals that they assembled are. You could say Saka has, because he might turn out to do an Henry. All right, he's on the wing, but I reckon the lad will end up as a striker.
Well, both Saka and Martinelli got 15, but both of them.
Yeah.
So
because Martinelli's lightning in a bottle. We need that lightning in a bottle.
Okay, second topic. I mean, the first topic was taking an hour to get through, man. Second topic, so let's talk about Man City this, Man City, West Ham. Arsenal still have to go and beat Everton. Now, I've just kind of pulled up the stats. The last 5 games, there's been 2 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw, Vincey. 2 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw against them. Thoughts? Come Sunday.
I think it's going to be a carnival. Personally, I think we'll win. I predicted 2-0 from last week, even before the results this week. So I think we'll win 2-0. Whether it will be enough, and I think that's where I am right now with Arsenal.
Yeah,
and
yeah. Possibility, hope. Probability.
Oh, there it is again! Yeah.
Des, your thoughts. We still have to beat Everton. We've got to beat them.
I think we will beat them, but we have to respect them because Sean Dyche has flipped them around. Think about it, guys. They've had 2 points deductions and they're still here. Do you know what I mean? That's got to be respected. But I do think we'll beat them. I don't think it will be
not 2 points, 8.
8 points.
I don't think it will be a floodgates open. I think it could be quite a tight one. Could either be a 1-0 or a 2-1, something like that. But I do think we'll win. And I do think Arsenal to progress, to go forward with a positive into next season, whatever the outcome, we need to win to keep that momentum going. So that's what I think. Maybe a 1-0 or maybe a 2-1. I can't put my finger on one or the other. If you were to ask me on Sunday, I'd probably give you a score. But at the moment, I couldn't say,
Yeah. But you know what, Des? Imagine, 38 games just only in the Premier League. And then you're so close, yet so far. I mean, how many players...
Yeah.
Anyway, voice of reason. Yeah. We've got to beat Everton, man. Isaac?
Okay, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm saying we will win.
Okay.
What I did, I went back all the way to 1998 and check our games when we played Everton the last day of the season. We played them quite a few times. Actually, I think we've played Everton more times the last day of the season than any other team since 1998. And at the Emirates. When we played at the Emirates, we've won all our games. And guess what? All games that have had over 2.5 goals. So they are going to be goals. We might have 4-0. Because why am I saying 4-0? Is our defense solid? Yes. We can keep a clean sheet, but we are surely going to score. And given the fact that we've been scoring loads of goals against them, I believe we'll have, you see, this team, you can say a 2-0, then they give you a 5-0. You can say a 5-0, and then they give you a 1-0. That is how it is. You never know. You say 5-0, they give you a 1-0. You say a 1-0, they give you a 5-0. And something I was, most pundits have been saying, was said sometimes back, is that the striking will win you games, the best defense will win you titles.
Yeah.
The first defense this season might not win you titles. We've had the best defense this season. And not just in the Premier League, but across the top flight European leagues, Europe leagues, the best defense. But it might not win us the title this season. So are we going to change and say probably the best defense might not win titles?
Yeah.
This defense could have won us titles had it not been for the games that have been mentioned here. You know, we've lost twice at home. Man City have lost none at home. They've drawn 5 years, but they haven't lost at home. So the fact that people can come to the Emirates and say we can take 3 points out of this game or a point out of this game, I'm not comfortable with that. I'll want where my opponents come to the Emirates and are shaking. And my opponents are like, come on, lads, let's do what we call damage control. Because they know they are going to be beaten. Let's do damage control. If they beat us, let it be 1 or 2-0 and not a 5-0. But when people come to the Emirates and have their wingers flying high and catch us at the 78th minute and score 2-0, we've lost 2-0 twice at the Emirates. 2-0 to West Ham, 2-0 to Aston Villa. We've got to be serious. Let me turn my tone down because I was going. Let us be serious. Let's be serious.
But it's the fine lines, isn't it? We're talking about the fine lines, you know. But
sure.
anyway, Prosper.
Fine lines. Win all your games at home.
Yep.
Go away. Let your defense win you the title there. Because I'm looking at the teams like we have Sporting Lisbon, we have Galatasaray. You know, I follow other leagues.
Yeah.
Galatasaray have won. They have won 17 games at home, and they're supposed to play 18 games at home. And this weekend they are playing Fenerbahce, and that's a huge game. And I'm sure they are going to win their game at home, so they are going to win 18 out of 18. Sporting Lisbon have already won their title, and they have won 18, and they're supposed to play 19 games at home. And I'm sure they have already won, but I'm sure they are going to win their 19th game at home. So surely, why can't you win all your games at home, then go away, and then your defense wins you the titles there? If you lose 1 away and then draw 2 if it's worse, then win the rest.
Prosper.
Everton, we're going to cross Everton. Again, I say this Arsenal thing of we finished strong, still speaking like the Wenger days. They showed heart, they showed passion. It's not enough. We've had so many of those. I've been there since, I don't know, the late 90s. I've been there since the mid 90s with Arsenal. I've heard it all. But the team showed heart, showed passion. What? At the end of the season, we want trophies, and where did we lose it? In the first half of the league. So what comes of Sunday is just a dress rehearsal. Even if we win the league, I won't be comfortable because we're not going to repeat that. Because if a broken Manchester United can control that game like it did, possession like it did, shots on goal like it did, you have to ask yourselves questions. Have we improved, or is it that the big teams in the league weren't okay this season? And if they come back, are they going to hammer us? Then we'll be like, what has gone wrong? But we can see the signs. We can see the signs when Arsenal can't fire on goal when it's blank. It's really blank tactically. And then there's this 75-minute substitution that happens as the enforcer said, late substitutions. And you know Kai Havertz is going to be the last person to leave the pitch, even if he's having an off day. Martinelli will be the first one, casualty. There's nothing like performance. With Arteta, it's not performance-based. Signings, not performance-based. What decisions made on the pitch, they're not performance-based. So whatever happens with the Everton game is a dress rehearsal. So if Man City flop, they've just borrowed it by themselves. Not that we deserved it. You
know? Enforcer, and we're going to morph into the final topic. What does Arteta have to do for next season? I think we spoke briefly about the recruitment, but in your own words, what do you think Arteta must do? And what do the powers that be must hold him accountable for? Des, if you're still with us. And he's not with us. He's gone. So, Vince, I'll go to you.
He's gone to the submarines.
I've always said Edu and those guys need to hold Arteta accountable. You know, Edu's an invincible. So I understand what Arteta's trying to do, but there are levels, and the fine lines are what allows you to cross over to the next threshold. So Prosper's made a, I think it was Prosper made a perfect quote when he says that where we are with the defense, defense wins titles, but this defense, as great as it's been, may not allow us to win a title, and that is criminal. It is absolutely criminal when you consider the way how our defense has played. That we're going to be in this situation, and as great as Man City have been, we allowed them to get off the hook. So for me, that's frustrating. I think Arteta needs to. I still haven't seen a plan B from Arteta that I can turn around and say, I understand what his plan B is. He's got better players in the squad. We still don't have a plan B. So plan B is the first thing for me. I'd like to have better strikers that would allow him to have a plan B and a plan C. I believe with the amount of players that we have in our squad and the ability, we should be performing better in the domestic cups. And if we performed better in the domestic cups, that would give him the opportunity and the squad players to have better fitness, better performance, and for him to have better tactics. So going out of those trophies early, in my opinion, does not help the squad. It does not help these youngsters. And although we are here where we are now, if next season we go out again and we fail, what have we learned? We've got a big squad. What have we learned? We spent a lot of money. So I don't like excuses. I don't like processing. I like productivity and implementation. And I need to see that next season. I need to see it next season. I need to see it from acquisition to training to tactics to across the board. You know, it's not too many games we play in. We're not managing the games that we're playing.
Yeah. But you know what, Vinci? Do you think? I mean, I don't want to make the assumptions here. The reasons why Arteta hasn't been pushed, because he's meeting all the targets that the hierarchy have set him. Get into the Champions League, sustain the presence in the Champions League. Don't worry too much about the domestic cups. Just get us the Champions League and generate the income. Do you think that's a possibility that they're just worried about that?
Well, let's be real, and it could be cynical. but look how many shirts we produce in each season. Yeah. Arsenal are making money. Yeah, they're making money off and on the pitch. Okay, so they're doing okay. They're doing all right. We're in the Champions League now. Financially, we up there. But when it comes to these standards that fans here and across the board want, at some point they've got to deliver. No excuses. So if that is the mindset, you've got an Invincible up there where he came into a team and he produced the goods. Those guys have been lauded for what they did. Now you stop and you think, again, the defense this year should have done the same thing. We should be, whether it's Invincible, we should have got over the line this year. Just look at the youngsters last season, the opportunity that they had, we should have got over. So again, you're going to look and think, how much of the mental impact is this going to have, the mental scars on these young players for 2 seasons running that they haven't got over the hurdle? It's concerning because all our focus is on is the league and the Champions League. And I don't think that's enough for a squad of young players who, we don't want these young players turning around and ended up their careers like Harry Kane, who's got all these golden boot and so forth. But where's the medal?
Yeah,
they want a medal.
Yeah,
and if other players, if other coaches or clubs see them and want them, what's to stop them putting in an offer, taking them, and them going and producing a medal at those other clubs? So we've got to be mindful about the talent that we have and what we're going to maximize in the space of time within their contracts for us as fans to get the rewards of our support.
Enforcer, you're bursting to get in.
Just a quick question on kind of expanding on what Vincey's just said there. Alex, we've supported Arsenal since the 70s, haven't we?
Mid-70s, yep.
So here's a question, okay? Who's it harder on? The supporters that have supported them since the 70s, or the supporters that have supported them for the last 20 years since the Invincibles?
Good question.
Do you know what I mean? And that's where this is where your decisions come from, whether you think whether we're doing a good job or we're not doing a good job. Do you know what I mean? Do you see what I'm trying to say?
For my opinion, I think it's harder on the fans who have been supporting Arsenal for the last 20 years. Because the likes of everyone on here, we have seen Arsenal win the Premier League.
Yeah.
We've seen Arsenal go to Europe and win European silverware. But for, I think the analogy that Isaac used, in the course of 20 odd years, that fan has grown up, gone to primary school, went to secondary school, has got a family, and still has not seen Arsenal win a Premier League. That's a generation.
Yeah,
that's a generation.
So, but that's you see where my decisions come from on what I'm liking and what I'm not liking at the moment and over the last 20 years. And I can't speak for you because you've got your own, your own things. Is that 20 years? The 20 years has flown by.
Yeah.
I can't speak for you, but the 20 years has flown by. Okay, and I know Arsenal are better than how we've been. Yeah, and let's be honest, guys. We'll be absolutely honest. The teams that we've had in those 20 years, there's been some good players, there's been some great players, but have we been a great team? No, I don't think we have. But I look back on this team now that's here and now and at this present, and they are trying to achieve. I'm not going to make any excuses because that's not really my style. So, but they are trying to achieve. Is it the right captain leading the ship? I would say yes. But again, it's patience, isn't it? And guys like Prosper and other guys in the chat, no disrespect to them, they haven't got the patience. But then I start questioning myself: have I got the patience? Or
do you have the patience? Do you have the patience?
I got the patience? I have at the moment, but I will say this: if we don't win a trophy next season, then my patience is going to wear a bit thin. I'm going to be quite honest with you. I'm back in love with my team because I love the way that we are winning, but how long does that last? And that's just me being honest with you guys. I'm not trying to sugarcoat nothing. Maybe I'm being a little bit blunt, but it does come. Is it how we're feeling over the last 20 years, or is it like for me and Alex? And I hate to say the years we've been supporting. But I'm over 40 years supporting Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I have seen some great times. Exactly, Alex. Exactly. Seen some great times. Yeah, and they're great conversations. But now the conversations are totally changing about the Arsenal, aren't they? You know.
But Des, are we making more demands on this regime because we can see that he's changed the culture at Arsenal and he's been backed to the hill? So is there more demands on him compared to
yes, I would genuinely say there is, but football's changed as well. That's the other thing we have to take into consideration. Football has changed. Football has, for want of better words, football has moved on. And you have to move on with it, you know? So as being an old boy supporter, my supporters had to move on as well, you know?
In Forsyth, if I can just say, my grey hair is over 50 years old. So you're not alone here. And I feel you.
I wasn't making an assumption, mate. I just didn't.
No. I just let you know. I feel you 100% with what you're saying there because it's real. I know exactly that feeling. I know that feeling.
That's part of passion, mate, isn't it? That's part of passion.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay, just to come in, like Days has said, and the enforcer said, it's not about lack of patience from us. I'm one of those people who followed the transition of Arsenal very well. Like, do you remember when Thierry Henry was leaving?
Yeah.
There was an issue where Wenger was asked by Thierry Henry, I don't want to leave Arsenal. You need to buy. Thierry Henry went to the pitch and then he was playing with players way lower than his level. He was like, can you buy me players to win something?
Yeah.
He was thought Arsenal was not going to buy any players. I remember that time. And I understood why Thierry Henry went. You know? Down the line, I was very patient because we never had the money. Something that I would understand. Under Unai, we never had the money. But Arteta came in. I backed him. Like I have these Facebook comments I made about Arteta. No, give him time, give him what. A whole page I would write on a certain Arsenal group. You know? Then I realized this guy is wasting money because I look at Klopp. Klopp, the first day of his job, when he just signed the contract, he said, I'm going to deliver the Premier League in 5 years. He delivered in 4. He made an ultimatum himself. But Arteta, it's all open. So are we going to be patient for 10, 20, 15 years? Because there's no line to when does this end? When do we say it's a failed project? And then you look at the money. Klopp, I think, won the EPL with less than, 600 million pounds?
Yeah.
He got it. And all other managers, regardless of how much the teams have been spending, starting from Mourinho, they won it in less money than we have spent right now. So you have to ask the questions and say, okay, fine. Every generation of Man City won the title with less money than Arteta has spent. So what is it now? And the only answer I find is that we got an experienced manager to run big money, which was a big mistake. Because if you bring in big money...
I've got a question. Sorry, I've got a question. And this is a general question. I'm not having a go at you or anything like that. Do you look at Arsenal as a football club or as a business?
I'm a fan. To me...
No, I'm not questioning that. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I'm just asking.
I'm a fan. To me, I didn't join Arsenal because it was a good business entity or whatever.
Right, okay.
I joined because of the football. They're winning. It's a club. It's football that brought me to Arsenal and so many other fans all over the world.
That's what I'm trying to establish, right? Again, you can say what you want. That's cool. I'm not. But to me, right, when people say, Arteta's had 700 million or 600 million, 700 million pounds, it's no skin off my nose. I don't care. It's not my money. Spend as much as you need to spend.
But what we're saying, Days, is you have 700 million pounds. You are a better team than Leicester. The Leicester that won the league faced greater competition because financially it's low. It cannot work with the budget that Man City was working with without FFP. But they managed to salvage a league. You see?
I get
So
that.
when you have the money, you have to buy the quality, not made tries, unproven goal scorers, and you hoping to change that person. Results don't come by fluke. You have to be sure of what you're doing.
No, I get what you're saying. I just wondered how you
So
felt
if
about
you
it.
give,
Sorry.
okay, if you give another big manager the same amount of money, what would Arsenal become? Ancelotti, give Ancelotti that money. You think Arsenal will be a pushback?
Prosper, we've said it before. Ifs, buts, and maybes, mate. If, buts,
Yeah,
and maybes.
but the results show for themselves. Ancelotti is delivering every time. Results show. It's not about ifs. They deliver trophies. They bring in trophies. You see?
Would you not say we've got the results?
At least, okay. If this season he had won even a league cup, any small cup, I would say, okay, fine. Football being what it is, there are no certainties, but at least he's won something out of the money. But everything out, put it out. And you have a broken Manchester United in a final of a cup, and then you're wondering, why not Arsenal? You know? Chelsea, a broken Chelsea in a final of a cup. Why not Arsenal?
I'm not disagreeing with anything that you're saying, mate. I'm just trying to understand you a little bit better.
That's where the frustration comes in, because he's making the same mistakes every season, not buying the right players, yet he has the money, not buying the center forwards, yet he has the money. Right now, the hot player he wants to buy is the left back, the one at Girona. You see, that's his face target. Instead of focusing on the positions that really need players, because at left back we don't have a big problem.
I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that, because
we don't have a big problem there. There's Timber, there's Zichenko, who's bad. There's that other young boy, but at least the average players who play in small teams. But why not get a center forward first? Guarantee positions that need players first. Then start playing around with whatever you can play around.
Prosper, all I hear is a striker is a priority.
Exactly.
He will buy a striker. He will. Sure, he will.
Yeah,
there are so many
but I'm just trying to stress the point that it's been 3 seasons the same story. Buy a striker. So why don't we get frustrated with that? You want us to be patient with a man who knows his problem, yet he doesn't solve it. 3 seasons. Now this is the 4th. No striker. Then he buys in the 4th season.
Allow me ask this question. We were told that Arteta, when he came in, he presented the owners with a 5-phase plan. 5 phases. And I want to assume, or probably say, 5 phases for 5 years. Are we jumping the gun, or are we demanding so much than he promised the owners? Because he gave them a 5-phase plan. Give them a plan for 5 phases. Was it a 5-year plan, or are we asking too much?
Okay, in that 5-phase plan, what I don't like about Arteta's tenure is there are no end clauses to everything. It's just open and vague. Was there a time frame? Were there a number of trophies that were demanded for him to deliver? In that 5 years plan, at least deliver so many trophies, league cups and whatever, whilst you're going. That 5 years, is it that in that 5 years when you've executed your big plan, are you going to get the Premier League or the Champions League? There's nothing. There's just a vague open thing that can go on for 10, 15, 20 years.
Vince, sure, go ahead.
I think I understand why he gave that 5-year plan, because the state the club was in required a 5-year plan. However, where he falls short is where he won the FA Cup in the manner he won the FA Cup, showed that tactically he was able to make changes using Maitland-Niles to nullify better teams for us to go on and win a trophy. So if you look and you see those tactics and you bring into a better team, a better team that's in form, we've struggled to use those same tactics against those teams for us to cross the line. So in a 5-year plan, I've always said, when you're in the opportunity to win it, do you take the opportunity? On how do you fall short? So with 2 years, possibly 2 years running, if you're going to say 5 years plan, are you going to guarantee that we're going to win the league next year? Because right now, I have no guarantee that after a 5-year plan, we're going to win the league. No guarantee that we're going to have a sustained League Cup. So we're going to have development of young players. FA Cup, no guarantee of Champions League. So when you look at the improvements of the squad at the end of a 5-year plan, when do you get guarantees?
Okay.
Vincey, can I say something very quickly? So we've kind of gone full circle, Vincey. I asked the question, is Mikel Arteta ready? The players are ready, set, go. But when it comes to those parameters there, after 5 years, can he guarantee that we're going to win the Premier League? Can he guarantee? Is there any guarantees we're going to win the Champions League?
I think the only guarantee that we've got is that we've got a guarantee of challenging. But challenging isn't enough for me right now. It's not enough for me, Alex, when I look and I think about the development of the young players for the other cups, the League Cups, because I'm not seeing. You gave Reece Nelson a contract a year and a half ago, and where's the development of Reece Nelson? So if you're going to say that you're going to sell him this year, well, did you just give him a contract? I actually thought you gave him a contract to make money off him, and it's going to be proven right that you give him a contract to sell him. He hasn't developed as a player, and I'm expecting that development as a vital player that we need moving forward. So that's where we're at. That's where I am with the 5-year plan.
Alex, I always try and keep it 100, yeah? Always try and keep it 100%. And at the beginning of the show, I said, yeah, he's ready. And I can honestly say it's taken you an hour and a half, right? But you've changed my mind because I'm thinking about it now in a different way. No, genuinely, I'm thinking about it now in a different way. Yeah.
But why?
Because I'm listening. Because I just thought I've always seen Arteta as straightforward. Let's achieve. Yeah. Let's try and be the best Arsenal we can be. Okay. But the points that every single lad on this show, or every single fellow who's made on this show tonight, right, has made me think, hold on a minute, I'm looking at it too simply. Yeah? I'm looking at it as just win something. I've got to get out of that mentality as a fan. Yeah? I've even been looking at the comments while we've been talking, and there's been comments that just make me think, hold on, you're making fair points too. So maybe I have to have, even though I'm known as the enforcer, and I know it's a nickname, I'm just trying to prove to people that opinions, we've all got them. Whether they're right, wrong, or indifferent, we've all got them. But I am proving that if you talk to me sensibly and you make good points, you can change my mind. And genuinely, in the time we've been on this show, and I've enjoyed being on this, by the way, even though I've had a few cutouts, I've enjoyed being on this. It's actually changed my mind because I'm thinking, hold on a minute, yeah, these guys are making points that I haven't even considered. So I appreciate that, lads, and I do, I'm glad that I've been part of it.
Welcome, man. That's credit to Cannon Fodder, man. That's what he puts out.
No, but you guys make Cannon Fodder
as well.
Yeah. Do you think there should be like a certain amount of years that a manager should remain at a club, and after that he moves on? So just say an average time of maybe 3 years. After 3 years or 4 years, that's it. He's out of the club. Or do you think it should be open? Well,
we're breaking the mold, aren't we? Because of the Wenger 20 years thing, aren't we? Yeah. Well, look, if someone says they can change a club in 5 years, even though Vincey's made a great point, there's no guarantees, right? But if someone who says I can change a club or try and change a club in 5 years, yeah, his time's nearly up. So you have to move on. You have to look for a different outlet. You have to look for a different way, possibly. Yeah. Do you know what? it's emotion, isn't it? It's all about emotion and how you feel about it. You know, and it's all right when you're riding. It's all right when you're riding the wave when you're winning. It's absolutely amazing, yeah. And you think, oh, this guy's the best guy since sliced bread.
Yeah.
But then, like things that have sneaked in, like a point I made earlier, he makes his subs too late. They're the things that come back to bite you. So yeah, I think managers should be given a time span. But if they achieve, give them a 1 year rolling. I mean, I'm just throwing something out here. Give them a 1 year rolling contract.
But why, Des? Why? Just because they've achieved, just move on. Well, keep it fresh. Keep like we said. Yeah, go on, Des. Go on.
No, I see your point, right? But look at it this way, right? Klopp is moving on from Liverpool. Pep next year is going to be moving on from Man City. And like we were speaking earlier, Alex, everything has a lifespan. Everything, right? Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, it has a lifespan. But the thing is, when Pep moves on, when Klopp moves on, the teams don't stand still.
No.
And that's what, and I think that's part of the thing that happened with Arsenal when Wenger left. Arsenal began to stand still, and that's nothing against Emery. He was chucked out the window way before his time. Yeah, he was asked to leave way before his time. What I'm saying is, though, we got to a point where we were so comfortable that when it all changed, we didn't expand or move on or become bigger. We stood still for 20 years. We've stood still for 20 years, basically. Yeah.
But then you've got to blame KSC for that, showing lack of ambition.
Yes,
there's no ambition.
I agree with that totally. So it has to be laid somewhere, doesn't it? The blame has to be laid somewhere. And you know.
Yeah. Guys, need to go into live chat before we wrap up this show. The Assemble has come in and said the players are being ran into the ground. The squad is too small. There is no variety in the squad. All the players are basically the same. We'll continue to fail just short all the time. Prosper.
Yeah. Just before the show started, I was talking. My cousin is a staunch Man U supporter. He's in the other room. So the past few weeks has been added on me like, Arsenal fans, you talk too much. You said you're going to win the league. So we're waiting for the Sunday game for you to win the league. And it's been consistent like that. And that's had me thinking, you know. I was looking at player for player. I was looking at Manchester City, you know. And look at the difference in player. When one tactic is not working, they're going to bring in a nimble player like, is it Silva?
Bernardo.
Yeah. They're going to bring in a nimble midfielder. If they want to play tough, they had the Gundogans and these tough boys. You know, it's a whole lot of variety in there that they can switch their game within 2 or 3 substitutions. But if you look at Arsenal, it's the same player, just with a different pace, different ball handling skills, and all. So if one game goes numb, like it showed on both of Aston Villa's games, even on the Bayern games, it just goes, especially the first leg, it just goes numb, and we have no plan B, no plan C. It's done. First 15 minutes, 20 minutes, the game is done. You can literally see there's no plan B. We were talking about a big center forward, you know. You have White crossing in sweet high balls, but there's no one to bang headers there. Why? Because Arsenal for the past, 10, 20 years has been having these small center forwards, you see? So there's no pressure on the center backs. And we're continuing with that philosophy. So there's a lot that has to come from Arsenal. And honestly speaking, when Arteta just got the job, I said, give this guy 3 years plus, because I said to myself, it's not his fault that he got the job. But if I'm running a company, say $1 billion company, there's no way I'm going to get an intern fresh from college and assign that person a $1 billion business. I need somebody with the receipts, Somebody who has done it and managed the big money. That's why you find there's big money. He can't handle it. He hasn't got the expertise. He can't, you know. So what Arteta is delivering is okay for his level because he's learning on the job. But is he right for a big club like Arsenal, top 5 club in Europe? No. You see, he wasn't the right man for the job. There's big money here. He would have gone to Championship or newly promoted league team. Everybody would have said, okay, fine, he's learning, he has to make this mistake. But at Arsenal level, you don't have the luxury. That's why Man City is never signing a manager and intern. They'll never do that. Liverpool will never do that. All other big clubs can never do that. It's only Arsenal that goes to that level. And we are fine with it.
But the two Javis have won leagues in their first seasons. Alonso,
Not the first
Xavi
season,
Alonso.
but you have to look at, this is where everything comes into place. You have to look at the money they spent to win big honors. And look at Manchester United. You see, when did Ten Hag come in? And they've seen
a year and a half.
Yes, they've seen this is a dead project. They're not extending maybe. They're going to replace him. And that's what champions do. That's why Chelsea has won so many trophies within a short period of big trophies, within a short period of time. Because they see if it's now, we gotta switch it up. They don't play hope games.
Yeah. Vincey.
I've always said, to me, yes, Arteta's got his issues and it frustrates the hell out of me. But the bigger thing for me is the club has put us in this situation. The club has put us in this situation by giving him the money to spend. Yes, the market is what it is. That's how far Arsenal as a football club has fallen. And we should never have fallen that low with what Arsene Wenger gave to us. So for me, I think if the club hold Arteta to the standards that we want him to, if he fails, it's down to them to seek alternative and replace him. But the fact is, those standards have to be up here, because I'm going to go back to my grey hairs is long enough for me to understand the pain of us struggling in the League Cup and getting over the line in some of those League Cups, and elated when Charlie Nicholas scored, elated. But our history in the League Cup is an embarrassment. For the years that we've been in the top flight, that's a trophy that we've struggled to. Liverpool have won it more than we have. Yes, we've got the FA Cup. So for me, as a club, we have fallen short in domestic cups. We've now got to the level where we're seeking for leagues, and with Arsene Wenger, George Graham, we've done it. Now with Arteta, we're challenging, but we are serial offenders when it comes to getting over the line. We've got to sort that out, because we can't be spending the money that we're spending, charging the fans in this day and age the money that we're charging them, all this merchandise, never before, 3 kids, all this, it's left, right, and centre. So for me, the club have to take onus, even the price of chips, extra onion rings inside of the stadium, and all that foolishness. They've got to sort it out. They've got to sort it out.
When we talk about chips, things are bad, man.
You know what? One Manchester United fan told me. He said, if football makes you the money, don't forget about the football. Because one day, the fans are going to wake up and they're going to realize we are Arsenal. Not the manager, not the player, not the owners. All these guys, the cronkies, if Arsenal stops bringing in the money, they'll sell it. They'll go. But the fans, like Days, Vince and Alex, you've been there 40 years. Through it all, through different owners. You see? So one day the supporters will wake up and say, guys, we can't be paying top dollar. We can't be buying season tickets for scraps. This has to change, and they'll stop buying it. And you will see now where we say the problem is with the owners. Now they'll wake up, but it will be too late because I see Arsenal go in the Leeds direction.
Yeah.
It will be too. I watched the Leeds, the Red Devil Leeds, and the Vidukas, and now to see what Leeds is today, and you wonder how did they go? But this is how things start.
Yeah. Absolutely. Good point. Good point. Do you know what, guys? We could go on for another hour and 40 odd minutes, man. But I'm hungry. I had my dinner. So. Now, Isaac, do you want to say some final words, seeing as you're the voice of reason?
Sure.
Go for it.
I've been on for almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's almost midnight, and I've not had my dinner.
Okay.
But it's because of the love for the club. I'm not complaining. We really love this club, especially this generation. We've supported the club for the past 20 years. That have not seen it win the Premier or the Champions League, and we are still supporting it. Most of them, or some went to Man City, and some went to Chelsea, and some went to Liverpool. Over here, I tell those who are supporting Chelsea, Liverpool, and City, and are young, are just new, who ran away from Arsenal. And you asked, what does Arteta have to do? That was the last topic. He has to do proper signings and do them early enough. Proper signings and early enough, so that you have them in your pre-seasons and start training early enough. Don't wait for a Dubai break for you to reset. And I don't want him to oversell. Again, there is another thing. Bring in and oversell. If you bring in a lethal striker and let Jesus go, then you remain with Nketiah, who you don't even play.
Yeah.
That means you will be playing that striker game in, game out, and then you will not have a plan B, as Vinci said. So if you bring in that lethal striker, at least you can have your Jesus around, so that you have a plan B. And you have the issue of him wanting to bring in a left back. You have Kivio, you have Tomiyasu who can play left back, you have Timber. Tierney is probably going. Tierney is going. And then you have Zini. Okay, if you sell Zini, or probably stop playing Zini left back, transform him into a midfielder, because in Ukraine he's playing as a midfielder. He's a midfielder in his home country. Stop playing him as left back, and look for ways of transforming him into a center, a midfielder, as you transformed Havertz from midfield to attacking. Because when I see the team sheet and Zini is on the left back, do you remember the way Arteta held his head when Benny Blanco scored? There's this goal Benny Blanco scored, which was supposed to be a cross.
Yeah.
That is how I hold my head when Zini is in left back, because I know teams will surely exploit him. They will. When they see Zini in left back, they think of ways of exploiting that place. So I'm hoping he does proper signings and in time, and do not offload the deadwood. Of course, we have deadwood. Of course, there are who are not up to par, but I can excuse the like of Jesus to remain, and then we have another striker, and then bring in a midfielder, bring in a Saliba backup, and not just a backup, a proper backup. Do not just bring someone who will sit on the bench because you've bought. A proper backup, and then you bring in a Partey replacement. If you can sell Partey, a Partey replacement, and then we are good to go. And then finally, the one thing that Arteta has not done or does not know how to do is what we call squad management.
Yeah.
If he does that, then he is good. Squad management, rotate, do your rotations. When you have those proper rotations, then you will not be worried of the injuries, because you overplay someone, then be sure at some point he's going to get injured. So I'll end it at that, because we can surely go on for another 3 hours.
Vincey, there's been a couple of comments or questions aimed at you. I know you responded to Emerson. He says, Vincey, this season, academy players will not get a chance next season, as most will be moved on, and there will be only one. And then I think I can see you responded there. And then he goes on to say, to the panel, will Nwaneri get a chance in early stages of the Carabao Cup, providing he has not gone on loan? Des, should he be given a chance to play?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. And then Vincey goes, Colin, those standards Arsenal set allowed us to believe in the team each season that we wouldn't drop those standards. We need a trophy now. All right, guys, that is it. I've got a funny feeling. I can feel it in my bones, Des, that maybe next week, Friday, the last Easy Talk, I think we might have you guys back on again. I can feel it in my bones.
I'm cool with that.
Okay. All right.
Blessings. Sounds good.
It's a pleasure.
So I think we might go for it. We'll go for it then. Next week, Friday, man. Same time, same place, different day. Anyway, guys, that is it. I will be back on Sunday broadcasting. I love that word, broadcasting. We're going live outside the Emirates. The last day of the season, man. It's the hope that kills, the possibility, the probability. Isaac, those words, man, they're a killer. I'm sorry,
Last thing before we go.
Yeah.
There's a saying that if you make the bed, you've got to do what?
Lay on it.
Lay on it. Arteta has made the bed. He has got to lay on it. He's given us hope, so he's got to win. No excuses.
Yeah, but that bed has been laid. Sorry, Des?
If it was Eddie Grant, it would be Joanna. Give me hope, Joanna.
Brother Vincey.
Yes, man.
Quality.
Always.
Thank you so very much for your time, brother.
Blessings, man. Always great to be with the family, man. Always.
Yeah.
Always.
And when you see Martinelli, tell him to score a hat trick on Sunday, man.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put some money on him, so you better do something. You better do something. Or I want some change back. For real.
Oh dear. Prosper, again, thank you. Thank you. I know you've been one of our Arteta's biggest critic. Likewise, I have as well, but it's always good to have you on the show. And I know you're going to be on Instant Post-Game Reaction on Sunday, but as of today, thank you for giving us your time, brother.
It's been a pleasure. Always a pleasure to be here. Always learning, always building up on the knowledge. It's always good.
Thank you. Thank you. Voice of Reason, I gave you the last words, but we'll be seeing you on Sunday as well for the Instant Post-Game Reaction, Isaac. Thank you for that, man.
5 in a row.
Yeah.
On Sunday, Friday.
Actually, it's a question. When was the last player that scored 4 goals for Arsenal in one game? Was it Ashford?
Ashford, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been a while.
It's been too long.
Can I just say as well, Alex, Vincey only looks 30.
It's the cocoa butter. It's the cocoa, trust me. I don't feel 30. I don't feel 30 at all, bro.
Or did you do wash?
Watch.
For real, man. Oh, I tell you what, this Arsenal, boy, it puts years on you. It puts years on you.
You're wearing well, Vinny.
Bless you, bro. Bless you, man.
And last but not least, the enforcer, Des. Thank you for your kind words before we went live. And thank you for giving us your time once we were live. Topical debates, man. We love it. We love it, man.
Alex, I've always loved it. I will always love it. And you can put me on with anybody because at the end of the day, it's like what Vincey says. It's family.
Yeah.
You know, you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. You know. So you just get on with it and you enjoy it. You know.
Absolutely. So, guys, I will see each and every one of you. Make sure you sign in on the register next week, Friday, for the last Easy Talk on Channel 40 TV. But that's it, man. Yeah. Was it almost 2 hours? 4 minutes short of 2 hours. Oh, wonderful stuff. It went just like... yeah. Anyhow, people, this Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world.